Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Panel to Panel, the only comic book webcast that is in the spirit of love. Valentine's Day is gone wherever this podcast has. It is the flavor of love. We love it all. We love comics. It is so good. Oh, I love you. I'm Spin Dash, and with me tonight is, of course, the Space Chief.
Hello, everyone.
And Jules.
Hello.
Jules is hard of hearing tonight, so I've got to yell really, really loud.
I'm getting old.
We're hoping to have Panda on with us soon. And tonight, our special guest, Miss Giulie Speziani. Did I say the last name right?
Buddy.
Did I say the last name right?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Boom! That's what I'm talking about. I am very fluent in many languages. So before we get into the festivities, first and foremost, we here at Panel to Panel have something we need to talk about. If you've watched the news, if you haven't watched the news, there's been a story floating around about a little boy named Michael. Michael is 11 years old, and currently he's fighting for his life. Michael is 11 years old, like I said, and he attempted suicide because he was bullied because he's a fan of the fandom of My Little Pony. And his favorite pony is Pinkie Pie, and he was bullied and tried to commit suicide, and right now he's in a hospital fighting for his life. The Panel to Panel crew, we all have very strong feelings about bullying. So, Chief, I would like you to go ahead and say your piece real quick.
Well, it's like I said, I think there's that there's a real problem. I don't know. It seems like you hear this like every couple of weeks. I think here in Illinois there was a 13-year-old girl that committed suicide because of a Facebook page that went up about her. And I don't know. It's just it's hard to know what to do about it because I'm just angry and I don't know what to do about something like this. Because I mean I didn't experience it too bad. Like I said, I made a video. It's on YouTube if anybody wants to go see it. But I didn't experience this too bad because I had an older brother that took care of a lot of it. But I have seen kids bullied, and I've never been that kind of person. I've always hated that my whole life, and I don't know, man. It's just hard. When I heard this news because this kid reminded me of me. I saw a picture of him on the website, and I know if I was 11 and My Little Pony came along, I know this would be me that would be getting tortured for this because I know I would be into it because I've seen the show. It's actually a pretty good show, and I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to know what to do about it. I don't know what the solution is to this, but it's got to stop. People need to start respecting each other.
Jules, do you have anything you would like to say?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this really hits near and dear to me. My little boy, he's 3. He loves the Powerpuff Girls. Like, that's his favorite thing in the world. So for me, it's just I can't even imagine if this even happened. I just want to send my love to him, my well wishes to him. I need him to keep fighting. I don't know. It's just been haunting me for like days. I mean, I know it happens more than, we see. I'm sure it happens a lot more than, the media puts out. But I mean, you like what you like. He likes Pinkie Pie. I like Pinkie Pie. I don't know. I'm just really upset about it. And I want to send my wishes to him that, he gets better. Everything will be okay. And that this just ends because it's wrong. I mean, I don't know. My daughter, she likes Transformers, that's the way it is.
As someone myself who was bullied as a kid for being the little fat kid, this hits home for me really hard. Bullying is not cool. It does nothing. It doesn't do anything for the guy who's doing the bullying or the person who's being bullied. Nothing good comes from it. So we want to first and foremost send, of course, all of our love and support to Mike. We're hoping that you get better, bro, and that you can come back even stronger. and prove the world that you are strong. But we also want to urge everyone who's listening to us, watching us in the comic book community to band together, stomp out this bullying, because we're comic book guys and girls. We're one of the biggest bullied factions on the planet. Okay? We need to band together, stop the hate, and just come together and be one cohesive unit. So we would like to say to be superior in that and stop the bullying, stop the hate. So Michael, if our good vibes are coming out to you, bro, get better. We hope you can get back on your feet soon, man. So with that, we would like to get into the topic tonight.
My apologies that I dropped out for some reason.
That's all right, Chief. Chief has a new computer. He just bought a new computer, so he's working out all the kinks on the new computer. Did you get Windows 7 or what'd you get?
8.
Oh,
8.
Ooh,
Windows 8.
Mr. Fancy Schmancy with the Windows 8. Mr. Fancy Schmancy over there. Those of us who are still running Windows 95, over here. Nah, I'm not.
He's on a Commodore.
I'm on my Commodore 64. I'm on my Amiga. I'm on an Amiga, man. I'm recording this on floppy disk. I'm recording this on floppy. No, I'm using a Vectrix.
He's got a VHS.
No, it's Beta. Get it right. It's Betamax. This is on Betamax.
Oh, I remember Betamax.
Betamax.
What did we have first?
You know what was always so
I
funny?
watched Night of the Living Dead on it. It was the first movie I ever saw on Betamax.
You know, Betamax actually held more film in it than a VHS did, but we liked VHS more than Betamax. It's weird.
I've always heard it was the superior format.
It was the superior format until Blu-ray came out. And now I get to watch my Godzilla movies in high definition.
Then.
Just until then.
It was the best until... There's nothing better than that until Blu-ray.
Yeah, because now I can watch my...
Blu-rays.
Go ahead.
Blu-rays are like really cheap now. Like at Walmart, they have like a huge bin, and they're like what, like $5? I'm like, yes, I'm like buying them all.
Yes, they're superior. That way I can watch my Godzilla and my Gamera on Blu-ray. My Gamera and my Japanese monster movies in high definition. Plus the two I bought today, my other two Godzilla films I bought today. But enough about giant lizards. Let's talk about Golden Age. We've all read it. I really enjoyed this book. I have to say, I really, really enjoyed it. I was smiling the whole time I was reading it. Because once again, that was me too. That was me as a kid. Maybe not in the same setting, but that was me as a kid. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Golden Age?
Golden Age is an all-ages comic. It takes place in Italy, and it's after World War II. A little girl stumbles upon a stack of Golden Age comics, and she becomes inspired to be the next superhero of her village. And yeah, it's a cute little short story, and it was all done in watercolor, so it looks beautiful.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So why was it for you? Of course, the protagonist is female. It's a little girl. What was it when you thought it up? How did you come up with saying it was? I wanted a female protagonist to kind of come across these comics and get real into them instead of a young boy.
Well, I mean, I think it's great to show diversity in all your characters to kind of have that balance and make it, reflect modern society. But Rob came up with Rob Harrington. He's the co-writer of this. He came up with the concept by, he loves Golden Age comics himself. So he came up with the concept. Together we wrote the story. And so for me, like writing it from a perspective of a little girl, I could just think of myself. So I guess it was just maybe easier. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's kind of the route we took.
It kind of seems like cinematic in a way, the way that she finds, she finds the books and how the story starts. It's almost like you could see it done as a film in a way, like a short film. And that's what I appreciate.
Yeah.
I really like the art. I like watercolor a lot.
Me too.
Yeah, Julia does a tremendous job, and for her, it's really easy, it seems. But we were amazed by what she came up with. So
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful comic. I like the message that it sends. Like where she didn't give up, like she was kind of down a little bit, but then she's like, you know what? I'm still going to do this. I'm still going to be a hero. I can do this. So it's such a good message for not just little girls, but just kids anywhere that they can do it. And you're not like, saving people from a burning building, but you can help people. So like for me, like I just love the whole positive of the story. I loved when she was reading the comic book in school. I thought that was great because I was thinking, that's my child. She focuses so good on things, but if there's something that she doesn't really care about, she would rather be reading something. It might not be a comic book. I mean, she does read them a lot, but if there's something else that catches her interest, like she's reading it under the table, and I'm like, oh, we have to do school, So, she loves to read. So that, I love that because she's reading it in school and then it cuts and then there's the comic book page. And I was like, oh my goodness, and it's such a different art style from the watercolors. So it really like pops out at you. It's kind of like 3D-ish too. Like it was so awesome. I was like, yay. So I was like shoving it in my husband's face. I'm like, honey, what does this remind you of? And he's like, I don't know. So I was just overly excited about it. I thought that it would be up his alley.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Jules. One of the things that I love about it is the title. Golden Age is so great. I mean, I'm as a huge fan of Golden Age comics and that era of comics. That's just an awesome title for a book, number one. Yeah. And I think that it's a story. I mean, it's like a good kid's story. I mean, it's a good story, good and empowering story for kids. So I appreciate that about it as well. And as you can see, as I hold my Golden Age Haunted Fear up to the camera.
You know what? I should have pulled out.
My husband, he likes fighting Yank.
I was saying I should have pulled out my Golden Age book.
A lot of Golden Age comics, so.
Keith has a ton, doesn't he, Jules?
Keith's got a
big chest. And he's got a cedar chest with his Golden Age comics, like his good Golden Age comics in it. And actually, when Finn came over, I forgot. The first time he came over, I forgot about it. And then the next time, Keith's like, "Ooh, but you didn't see these comics." And it's like really, really good ones, and they smell.
He's a lucky
really
man.
Good.
It's one of those chests. It's one of those things where he.
I need to get that in my collection.
It's one of those things that when he opened up the chest, I had to look away. It was like the Ark of the Covenant. I can't look directly in the chest, or else my face will melt off because it was so beautiful.
I appreciate that.
And it was funny because I'm sitting there and Keith
paint and acrylic.
Well, what's cool is Keith looked at me and he goes, "Do you have a Golden Age comic?" And I was like, "No, sadly, I didn't have a Golden Age comic." And he goes, "Here, everyone needs one Golden Age comic," and he gives me a copy of Alley Oop. And Jules, I got that book appraised. I did get that book appraised. I'm not going to tell you how much in dollar signs your husband handed me.
That's great. I hope it was.
It's in good hands.
I hope it was a lot.
It's never leaving your house.
It's in good. It's in really good hands. I take it out. I don't take it out. I only open up the bag a little bit just to smell it every now and again. Because that newsprint. What I liked about it, first and foremost, the comic book story. I liked it because it was like an old Captain America comic, kind of in that vein of Captain America. It was right around the right time that it was a story of a superhero knocking out Hitler, which was basically what at that time a lot of the Golden Age comics were about. So I really enjoyed that, and what I also loved is when she finds the comics, what you didn't mention is that, Jules, is that she finds the comics next to a dead soldier who had been probably laying there since the winter. And she's like, he's like, don't worry, I'll take care of these comics for you, and runs away as the dead soldier's still there in the field.
Yeah.
We actually talked about that, Rob and I. We didn't know if that might have been a little morbid, but I thought,
well, that's what made it more cinematic to me. I think in a kid's movie you'd see something like that. Like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
in kids' movies today, I don't know. I didn't think there was anything really morbid about it. I think that was just how children saw the world. I mean, you would see that in Europe and after World War II that come across. I think there's still landmines over there buried in some places.
Oh yeah.
I think
There's like old rusted artillery everywhere. I mean, I can imagine right after the war there was probably some gruesome stuff to be found.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I can. If I can ever find them, I place them somewhere. I'll show you whenever I can find them. When I came back from Iraq, my first time when I came back from Iraq, I've got 2 Iraqi artillery sites from their artillery.
Oh.
So if I can ever find them, I put them somewhere. If I can ever find them in my house, I'll bring them out. And it was real funny because I almost wasn't able to bring them back because the chemicals that we use in sites, the center of the sites in the liquid, but there was no crack, so I was able to bring them back. If I ever find them, I'll show you. I got one of them working again. One of them's not working, but I got one working. Now, was there anything particular that inspired you to write Rosa and Mario, to kind of team these two up?
I kind of just drew from my experience as a little girl. Like in the summer, I would either have my best friend come over or just, go outside and climb trees, kind of get lost in my imagination, dress up as like either Robin Hood or She-Ra, and just kind of get lost in my own little world. So I kind of drew on that. And Rob's the same way. Like he has a brother, so he always had that extra person versus like a group of friends. So there was always that like camaraderie and kind of like one-on-one friendship.
I just want to go and give Noah a hug right now. It just sounds like I should go give Noah a hug.
I found it very true. I've been since way my summers were growing up.
Hold on, Chief. I think there's a delay in your thing, Chief, since you got the new thing.
The world was different.
Say that again. There's a delay in your computer. 8. Your Windows 8 has a delay, so I'm talking and you're not getting it. So say what you just said again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, just say what you just said again. I'll edit it all together when I do it. It'll sound perfect. You were talking about a winter night long ago.
I said, yeah, I got it. I got you. I said it was pretty true to life to how I grew up, actually, except for the bodies. I didn't find any bodies. But I ran around I grew up in the country in Indiana as a kid until I was 15, so most of my summers were just running through woods and being a superhero too. So I can kind of relate to it in that way.
Now, Jules, we had asked Cecilia a couple questions, or Cecilia. I would add her answers in the description. I do want to talk about her for a little bit because her art is use of watercolors. It is just simply beautiful in every aspect of the word. She is a fantastic artist. So how did you meet her? How did you guys start collaborating together?
Well, we actually worked together on my first comic book, By the Slice. It's kind of like a slice of life story about a girl working at a pizza place. So it was a script that I had done, and I had posted on DeviantArt, and she was like one of the people had submitted her art, and I really liked all her characters had very expressive faces, and I thought that was going to be perfect for my story. So we got along right off the bat, and then only a few years later, like the holidays, 2012, that's when I submitted or asked her if she could do the art for Golden Age. And she liked the story, and she found it to be not a problem to do it in watercolor. She's also very fast, so it was kind of like she was working on something for Mark Waid's website, Thrillbent. So she was both juggling our stuff as well as art for his website. So yeah, I mean, it was a great collaboration the first time, and I'm glad we still talk and keep in touch. And she's a great artist, great work ethic, kind of all that you were looking for in an artist, really.
Fantastic.
What does that sound?
My daughter built something and it makes a sound. I don't know. Oh.
Anytime there's a weird sound, we know where it's coming from. It's coming from Jules' house at some time. But it's all good. It adds ambiance, Jules. Don't worry about it. It adds ambiance. You know.
It's character.
It's character, because ladies and gentlemen, we're not just sitting in some studio, people. We're regular Joes doing this on a thing. So yeah. However, if you do want to donate a studio to us, you can reach me at spin-productions@gmail.com. But I digress.
True.
Now, Jules, this question was on. We had this question the other week too about how is it working with your husband on this book. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's fun.
yeah, I got that question. So we actually written other things together. Okay, for this one, I mean, this is our first all ages comic. So because he usually writes a little more, I guess, zanier comics, and I write a little bit more serious comics. So together, we were just like, okay, let's try to like push our imagination and try to come together with this, because all ages comic, it's kind of like a different way to write it, but it's still like, you still have to approach it the same way as other stories. Just not put all the serious stuff in it, but you still have to have a good story to it. So, we thought we were able to try it out. It worked out.
Yeah, it definitely works. It's a good story. And I like the time period. It's a great time period for a story to be set to, and it's unusual. And then, like I said, it's kind of cinematic. I could see it as a short film as I read it.
Who would be the director?
Me.
I know who would play
You got
Mario.
the job. There you go.
I know who would play Mario. I know exactly who would play Mario.
That's Jeff Burns. Jeff Burns could direct it.
Jeff Burns could direct it, but I have the actor to
that's a good
play.
one.
I have the actor chief who could play Mario.
Who?
I wonder who.
Guess, chief.
You?
Chief, guess. Guess who's going to play Mario?
I'm gonna guess you're gonna say Tommy Wiseau.
No.
I could never tell.
Russell Crowe, man. Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe. He can play anything.
Truly,
Russell
man.
Crowe. I've been on a
We
Russell
were
Crowe
talking about
kick for
Tommy
how
Wiseau
many
all day,
weeks?
so I thought for sure it would be.
We haven't talked about Tommy Wiseau all day. We haven't talked about him all day long.
You are not allowed to buy. You are not allowed to buy Russell Crowe with our fun question.
Oh, no. I have the perfect answer for that question, Jules. I have the perfect answer for that question.
Okay.
I have the perfect question. Now, do you feel that there is any type of stereotypes against all ages comics? Because, I mean, right now, we got quite a few all ages comics on the shelf, like Adventure Time, My Little Pony, hint, hint, My Little Pony. But, a lot of people are going towards the darker things or the more adult-oriented. So do you think there's, like, a stereotype of, like, I'm a huge fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. I have, like, almost every issue of Sonic the Hedgehog. I read it. It's my favorite comic book. But I think people don't understand what a great book it is because they see, it's Sonic, it's probably just for kids. So do you think there is a stereotype with all age comics?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people think it's dumbed down, it's too lighthearted, it's, I guess it doesn't have the same qualities as an adult story, but they actually do. I mean, they have to have like empathetic characters, they have to have something driving them. I mean, there's a lot to learn from like all ages comics, but there's also other things that you can enjoy from it. I mean, I love Adventure Time, and I think My Little Pony is also right up there. And maybe the other end of the spectrum, Mouse Guard. I mean, that's a great book.
I love Mouse Guard.
Yeah. And
That's another one Jess likes too.
And it's just, there is that kind of like stereotype that it's not going to be as nuanced or poignant because it's for kids. And that's not true at all.
I'd like to just make it clear. I do like Adventure Time. There are some. I do read these kinds of comics. I'm not all horror and gloom and doom. I do like Adventure Time and like regular show, and I'm starting to read Sonic. Spin is getting me into Sonic, so I am becoming more and more open to these. Which I haven't really, until like Adventure Time came along, I didn't really read any all ages comics. I can't think of any, and then that book kind of opened doors for me to read more of them. But there's some really good all ages comics out there. You just got to find them, you know.
Like I said, with Sonic, Sonic has been going on since 1993. It's over 200, almost to 260 issues. But in this book, it's not just Sonic runs fast, collects ring, bounces on robot. There's love. There's love in the book. There's relationship issues. There's battle against friends and friends trying to work together. There's even death in Sonic. There has been characters who have died in Sonic, and unlike Marvel or DC, they haven't come back yet. These characters have not been resurrected yet. Tommy Turtle is one. Tommy Turtle's died, and that was like, oh my God, why'd they kill off Tommy Turtle? But but people say it's a kid's book, and it is. There's good stuff for kids, but there is the adult aspect to it as well. So that's me.
That's true.
Yeah. And then they get like Superman Family Adventures, and then they only let it go for like 50 issues, and they're like, eh. I'm like, oh, come on. Because it's Superman and kids can read it and it's big, and so I still am mad at DC about that. I will say that I'm mad about that.
The trade just came out.
That's a good comic.
Week. The trade came out like last week.
I know, it came out this past Wednesday. I was gonna get it, but I didn't. Because we have them all, but anyways, that's a good comic. Superman Family Adventures. We love that because you want to start your kid off with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, something like that, and then you can't find any comics that they can read. So it's like they came out with the Superman. I want them to do a little Batman. Oh, I'm so happy about that. I'm going to petition it.
What, Little Gotham's not your little Batman?
But,
One of the things.
Sign up.
I'm thinking Art and Franco doing a little Batman.
Oh, okay.
I like
One of the
Little
things that's
Batman.
great about
I like Little
Golden
Batman.
Age is it's grounded in reality too. It's kind of about the superhero genre is in there, and like comic books and things are in there, but it's still a story that's grounded in reality too. That this is like a moment in time of this girl, and that's really unusual too for a comic today. You don't see that a lot, which I can appreciate that too.
Yeah, I guess for Christmas I gave my nephew both Golden Age and then Ben 10. That's another all ages comic, and he liked it. He thought both were good. I mean, I guess he was a little bit more privy to my comic that he was like, oh, this is what my aunt did. But yeah, I mean, otherwise I feel like there should be more all ages comic, or at least I guess put on display at comic book shops, because sometimes they're off at the corner and easily missed when you go in. But I mean, that's just depending on the comic book store too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
My store has a big section, but it is down on the end of one side where most of the all ages stuff, and then everything else is throughout the store, And it is, I guess it is pretty easy to miss, but I do see more and more kids coming into my shop, Spin.
Yeah.
And they are buying all ages comics.
Good.
They are selling.
Good. Because like my shop, when you walk in my shop, the all ages comics are the first ones you see when you walk in, because all the comics are on the right side of the store. So when you walk in, all the all ages comics, I almost said thank you. But they're all on one side on the wall. So you had those, and then all the trades there's a bookshelf of trades that separate those comics from like your mainstream darker books. So you do see all the ones, and it's like It's like Looney Tunes, Scooby-Doo, all the Disney ones. So they're all right there when you first walk in, which is kind of cool. So with social media, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Reddit, LinkedIn, whatever else there is out there. Do you think it's easier to market in all ages comics now that there's more avenues to get the information out?
Well, I mean, it seems that way, but at the same time, like, it's whatever niche or demographic you're trying to hit, you have to be really specific. And we promote on our Twitter, on our blog, on our Facebook, but we don't know if any kids follow us, so even parents. And so it's still a little more difficult to go find that specific channel and market to kids, because there's so much out there. There's so much that, they consume and watch and see that it's kind of hard to just kind of like pinpoint what exactly they're looking at. And Facebook is, again, like, unless someone's like logged into Facebook or even like liking our page, they won't know us. They won't know what we're putting out there. And I think that's kind of like what all indie publishers have to deal with. Especially given the market, there's a lot of indie publishers out there.
Which that you mentioned the indie publishers. If you could change one thing about the process of making an indie book, what would it be? If you could change something.
Rob and I were talking about it, and honestly, like, our minor complaints are just that. They're minor because we've only been doing this for a few years. And we're still learning, and we kind of have it easy nowadays with the internet. I mean, we are able to email an artist in Italy, and she scans art pages to us, versus before the internet. Everything was done by snail mail. Everything was done by hand. Everything was more time consuming. So I think we got it pretty good.
That's amazing to me. I was just thinking about that the other day. I was talking to Pedro, and I was talking to like Fractures and Joe Toulon in England. And I was thinking, I'm talking to a guy in Brazil and two guys in the United Kingdom right now from my bedroom, just on my tablet. That is just so mind blowing to me.
Well,
I grew up in a time. Kids today, they grow up with it, but I'm 38. That's like, I remember before all this. And it's like, yes, this is the greatest thing ever. And kids are like, yeah, big deal. I've had that since I was, 6 months old.
That's when you're like, here's a rotary phone, use it. Learn how to use this rotary phone.
That's a style. They wouldn't know.
I remember rotary phones.
You just put it to your ear and
one too.
Operator?
I remember when Good Times was new.
When Chief was a kid, all they had
brand new episodes of MASH.
Chief just had 2 cans with a string.
Even just sending comics, it takes a long time. If we were to send it to a reviewer, and that would just, have to go through the mail system, versus now I just email a link.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
now if
amazing.
It's a lot easier now.
If Golden Age got picked up by a major publisher, who would you want to handle your book? Which publisher would you like to handle Golden Age?
Well, I know that a lot of the publishers kind of look for a series. I mean, we're open to any publisher, but I mean, it's kind of hard to pinpoint because a lot of the publishers out there want like, a full story or series, a trade, something that's a little more collected. And since this is a short one-off, it's kind of hard to even pinpoint. So right now, that's what we're doing, is selling at conventions. We will be putting it on Comixology later. So, and we are going to sell it on our website as well. So.
Nice.
Jules, did you do a feature on Little Heroes and Heroines about Golden Age?
I could. That would be good.
We are to the point where we get to ask some fun questions. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb questions. So these are fun questions we ask every week to our guests, and the hosts, we answer them as well. So, but guests go first. Guests always go first.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, if you could put any two franchises, combine any two film franchises together, what would they be?
It will be Men in Black and Ghostbusters.
Oh, good one.
That's good.
I didn't even think of that.
I did not either.
That's good.
Perfect.
Chief?
I think Rob's
All right,
was
go ahead, Julie.
Indiana Jones and Jurassic Park.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That would be cool. I would like to see that
I'd like
myself.
to see that. Raptors. Why do
Yeah.
they have to be
Yeah.
Raptors?
My turn.
Use the whip.
Yeah, go ahead, Chief. What would you combine?
Yeah.
I said this the other night. I wasn't on Super Geeked Up, but I was tweeting with Jeff. And my suggestion, because they asked this question, a similar question, it wasn't this exact question, but a similar question. My suggestion was an all-Muppet version of The Big Boss with Bruce Lee. But with Muppets.
That's, yeah.
That's funny.
Jules?
Muppets, yeah. I thought, Lord of the Rings is like my favorite, but I couldn't think of one that I could mash it together. So I picked The Hunger Games and Harry Potter. Go together.
Oh, that's good.
That would be pretty a brutal Harry Potter movie.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I know, right?
But didn't they have that in the movie, though, that they had to
They kinda
compete
did,
with
yeah.
each other?
They had to try
Yeah,
to
the Wizard
tournament,
Camp thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they weren't all like out in the. Yeah, but they were like, it was like, okay, here's a challenge, and then a couple months later, here's another challenge. So it wasn't like all at the same time.
It was like the maze, or the course killed them. It wasn't the other contestants. And
Yeah.
if it was like
Yeah,
wizards fight
that's
to the
true.
death, that would be cool. It'd be like Wizard Battle on Adventure Time.
Wizard battle.
Yeah.
All right. I've got it. I thought long and hard on this. And I've come up with the one that I think everybody over the age of 20 would be dying to see. I am going to put the Justin Bieber concert film franchise with Godzilla.
Bravo, sir.
The moment Bieber hits that high note, Godzilla just comes in, atomic breath, bam, done, and then Godzilla just walks away. There's nothing after that.
There can only be one movie, though.
That's fine. Boom.
Couldn't survive.
Bieber's a roasted chicken, and Godzilla just walks away. That's all it needs to be. Just walks away.
Atomic breath.
And the world will rejoice. I'm telling you, there would be like a holiday. No one would ever care if Godzilla destroyed a city ever again. He'd be destroying a city. He's like, well, he killed Justin Bieber. All right, yeah.
Twitter would explode. Twitter would just.
But see,
be gone.
then you say there's only going to be one film. Well, then guess what? The sequel, One Direction, you're next. Take a hint, One Direction.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
next.
They're kind of over now anyway, aren't they?
No, they're still around.
I think you get some bad fan mail.
That's fine.
They're so going.
Get some
But
hate mail on the way.
You know what? Donnie Wahlberg.
It's all worth it.
Donnie Wahlberg would be like, excellent. The plan has come together. All right. So the next one, now, Jules, I have to ask, did Keith help you come up with this question?
Well, that's kind of funny because I was sitting here at the table and I was trying to think of a question, and I was like trying to think of one, and we were thinking of like stupid ones, and I was like, oh, we've been reading Uncle Scrooge recently. Like we've been reading like 2-3 a night, and so I was like, oh, we need to think of an Uncle Scrooge question, and I was like, and Paige actually said something about what did she say? Something about how would you dive into all of his money or something like that? Like how would you dive into it? And I was like, oh, wait, and then I like got it, and I was like, yeah. So it's funny that you asked that because we were like trying to brainstorm
Well, I wasn't sure if he was still. I wasn't sure.
Because we're like obsessed with Uncle Scrooge.
I wasn't sure if Keith was still mad that I beat DuckTales Remastered in one night when I visited. I just sat there all night and beat the game in one night. I was like,
He actually came up with another question, and then he's like, "Oh, that question was so good, I'm going to tweet it." And I was like, "Oh, you can't tweet it." And then I just made up my own question. But
all right, and that question
he's like, "You should have that on your show." I forget, it was something about Batman. But
well, the question is, if you were Scrooge McDuck, what would you buy with your 3 cubic acres of money?
For me, I want to say a tree house mansion. So I guess a tree mansion. Just because I've been looking up on Pinterest, all these like cool tree houses that are just like not the typical like shack in a tree, but like real life like tree house with like furniture, and it just looks really cool. So that's my take on it. And Rob, I asked him the same question, and he goes, basically a Willy Wonka factory, because he has such a sweet tooth that he just wants to take a bite of like a wall and it'd be like candy.
good answer.
Oompa Loompa is not included.
That is a good answer.
Oompa Loompa is not included.
Have you seen that reality show? I don't know what it's called, but they actually build tree houses, and they're like houses.
Yeah, Treehouse
They're
Masters.
tree
They're crazy.
But they have okay, so like the way they do it customized. So like if you want like a retro kitchen, like they do it customized to your needs. So the one I saw, they did a retro kitchen. It has a bathroom. It has like, you can have a deck and a hot tub, and oh my gosh, and they do it from the beginning. So they like have the wood, and then they start building it, and they're like billions of dollars, but it's amazing. Yeah, it's a reality show. It's like Treehouse Creations or something.
Treehouse Masters.
Who knows? Is that what it is?
That's what it's called.
It might be. Is that what it's called? Okay. I know
it is
crazy. Yeah, it's fun to watch though, because like you just can't believe that this is an actual treehouse. And I mean, they're not like. I mean, they obviously don't look like houses. I mean, because they are a treehouse, but it's amazing. I was like, whoo, I want one.
Well, Jules,
I just love Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, so that's where I kind of got my inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Costner, so.
Maybe.
He's my favorite.
And he was still a good Jonathan Kent. I don't care what anybody says, Pedro.
Or yeah.
He's making a comeback.
Chief, we still need to do that thing we talked about the other night after somebody badmouthed
I still love Man of Steel. I don't care what anybody says. Take your reviews elsewhere. I loved it.
I love Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Well, Jules, what would you buy?
So many things, but probably Matt Smith. My last buy person, because that's who I would buy.
I was told
He's
I
so
can't
cute.
buy Russell Crowe, but you can buy Matt Smith. You told me I can't buy Russell Crowe, but you can buy Matt Smith. Hypocrite. Hypocrite. I'm calling
because
hypocrite.
He comes with the TARDIS, though. He comes with the TARDIS, so I get Matt Smith and the TARDIS.
No, you're buying Matt Smith. You're not buying the Doctor. You're buying Matt Smith. He comes with it. It's like his accessory. He comes with a compact British car with a steering wheel on the right.
He comes with a hairbrush.
He shaved his head.
He comes with a Mini Cooper with a Union Jack on it.
It's a Jaguar.
No, he's on a moped, so.
It's a Jaguar.
He probably
Yeah, that's right.
All right, Chief, what would you buy?
That's funny.
Well, my idea was that I would build a full-scale replica of the Argonaut, or the Pillars of the Kings from Lord of the Rings, leading up to my full-scale replica of Helm's Deep, where I would live. And that would be what I would buy.
I wouldn't buy a thing. I would buy nothing. Because if I was Scrooge McDuck...
Oh, did I mention I would cover it all with gold when I was done?
No, if I was Scrooge McDuck, I would think the way Scrooge McDuck would, and I am not spending my money. It's in my money bin, and I'm going to dive in it and swim in it and throw it up in the air and let it hit me on the head. And every once in a while, I will invest a little bit, because you have to invest. If you ever watched the short Scrooge McDuck and Money, it's on YouTube. Go check it out. The first Scrooge McDuck cartoon, Scrooge McDuck and Money. He teaches you about how money makes the world go round. So I would invest, but I would keep my money, because I am Scrooge McDuck, and that's what I do. So, man.
Hear about capitalism, children.
Care about capitalism. Now, if I wasn't Scrooge McDuck and I had his money, I'd buy the United States of America. I would buy the country, and I would rule it with an iron fist.
I think you might have some money left over. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Nevada. I would buy Molossia, that little acre of land that's like its own country in Nevada.
It's its own independent nation.
Its own independent nation. It's 1 acre of land in Nevada, and it's its own independent nation. I'm gonna do that. Spillassia.
Good plan.
Good. We're doing it. It's done. All right.
Did you rename it?
I'd relace it. Spinlassia.
Spinlassia.
Nostalgia critic took it over.
Yeah. And on the top of a mountain of pain, in the castle of skulls, I sat on my throne of blood. Lord Vigo, oh Lord Vigo, oh Vigo, oh. If I bring you this woman, can I have this? All right. Last question of the night, and I don't
just
like
going into Ghostbusters too.
Yeah. Why am I drippings with ghoul? This is the last question, and I'm a little upset, Jules, that my franchise was not put on this question. But
That's for another episode.
Yeah. What video game?
No Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, my franchise, Jules. My franchise. If you hold on. Whoa! Oh, Sonic. There he goes. Okay, here we go. What video game would you rather be trapped in? Super Mario Brothers or Zelda?
I would go for Super Mario Brothers, but I think it depends on which version. I would go for the third one because I want to fly.
Agreed.
Rob actually went for Zelda because he says Mario Brothers is too trippy with the pipes and the mushrooms.
Chief?
Yeah, I mean...
Won't say anything. Stop looking at me.
I don't mind it. I mean, I picked Mario Brothers because it'd be cooler, but the Zelda soundtrack is cooler too.
Yeah.
Oh, the Zelda soundtrack is great.
Chief, where would you go?
Oh, you can't. I would have originally said Super Mario Brothers myself, but considering the plumbing issues in my house right now, I have to change my answer to Zelda because Link doesn't deal with his toilet shooting water to his ceiling. So I'm picking Zelda.
Okay. Jules?
Poor Chief. I'm gonna go with Mario because I just have it memorized, the original at least. I played it so many times, so I would never die. I would know exactly where to go. And Zelda, it's funny because I didn't play Zelda until I was much older. And I probably was 20 or something, and I was like, I can't beat it! It's hard! I was like, isn't this supposed to be an easy game? Everybody beat it when they were 5, and I can't beat it. So, yeah, Zelda's definitely out. I can't beat that game. I don't know why it's so hard, but it's hard for me.
No, see,
so Mario for me.
Remember, back then games were hard because they wanted you to have a challenge. Nowadays, it's like, what is it? Is it the brand new Super Mario that just came out? It's like, oh, if you die so many times on a level, they give you the white Tanuki suit, which makes you invincible for the whole level. I'm like, foul. That is cheating. That is come on, get in there and do the level. Do not give him a white Tanuki suit. That is bull.
You can still
I
fall off
agree.
the cliff, but if you hit into something, it's like a star. You won't die. It's funny.
Well,
I have not played a Mario
So you
game since
can't
Mario
die?
64.
No, the white Yuki suit is like the invincibility suit. You can just run through the whole level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll ask you. It'll be like, you died. Well, this is what it should say. You died so many times, but it says something like, this level looks really hard. Would you like to try this? And then you click yes or something. Or would you like, I forget,
not
but
fair.
Donkey Kong has it too. Donkey Kong has
one?
it too. It'll be like, do you want this to be played? And then it'll actually do it for you. You don't even go through. It
It's
does
a
it for
challenge,
you.
right?
So.
Oh, wow.
Which, by the way, the
Yeah,
new
I love
Donkey
the
Kong for the
Donkey
Wii U
Kong
looks
Country.
awesome.
Yeah.
I want the Wii U
I
really
want to
bad.
buy that so bad. It looks really good. Paige and I played the other one for the Wii. Oh, we were like addicted to it. But
Now I thought
Donkey
about
Kong's
this.
fun. It's hard. It's really hard.
It
Oh,
is.
really?
Now I thought about this.
Well, for me it is.
I thought about this, and originally I was going to say, screw you guys, I'm going to Super Smash Brothers, and I'm going to be Sonic in Super Smash Brothers. But if we're going back to the classic, of course, I owned Link, or Legend of Zelda, and Link's Awakening, or not Link, yeah, I had Link's Awakening, but Link's Adventure for NES, and I had all three Super Marios for NES, 1, 2, and 3. But I don't know, there's a show, Chief, I don't know, maybe you've seen it, there's a show, it's a web series, it's called The Legend of Neil. Has anybody seen that, The Legend of Neil? It's a story about a guy who actually does...
I haven't seen that one. I saw the one about Donkey Kong,
You guys see the one called
where
Legend
the
of
guy
Neil?
beats
It's a
Donkey
guy-
Kong. The record.
It's a guy who actually does get trapped in the world of Zelda. Now, if
It's like a regular scripted movie.
yeah, it's a scripted web series. Now, the fairy, of course, we know in Zelda there's fairies, and they help Link get his hearts back. He finds a fairy, they replenish his health. Well, in that show, the fairy is played by Felicia Day. So, if I could have Felicia Day as the fairy, yes,
Oh, yeah.
I would be in The Legend of Zelda. Because I have pronounced my love for Felicia Day many times on this show. She is perfect in every way, shape, and form. So I would, plus, you know, I think I would get, if I was in Mario, I would get so sick and tired of beating Bowser and then having to say, oh, sorry, Mario, the princess is in another castle. I'd be like, what? You know what? Screw you. No, I've done like 50 castles already. I'm done. Bye. Goodbye. Let Luigi.
The other reason to avoid Mario is
Luigi can save her.
my aversion to anything to do with sewers or toilets or waste of any kind. I don't want to be around any of that. So Zelda sounds like a good time to me.
Well, I just think Zelda, it's like, okay, I have an objective. Go there, kill you, princess. Mario, it's pipes,
Yeah.
mushrooms. Yoshi, you just ate that and pooped out an egg.
Turtles.
I love Yoshi.
You pooped out an egg, Yoshi. Yoshi.
And Killer
Yoshi
Plants.
rocks.
Oh, killer plants.
Oh, yeah.
And stars.
The only thing that would get bad in Zelda is when you hit a chicken, like a bazillion other chickens come out of nowhere and start attacking you. So don't kill the chickens. But in Legend of Zelda,
I really liked Mario 64 though. That game was awesome. I thought that was the last one I've ever played as far as Mario. But I loved Mario 64. That was probably my favorite of all of them, even over the originals.
see what would be bad.
For me.
Mario Kart? I love Mario Kart.
Oh, Mario Kart. What would
I
be
love
bad?
Mario Kart.
What would be bad is if you could get trapped in a game of Mario, I'd probably get trapped in like Mario's Time Machine, which was an educational game where you have to go to different times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
There were
I
quite
haven't
a
heard of
few
it.
Mario educational games, like Mario is Missing, Mario's Time Machine, Typing with Mario. Oh, it was horrible.
I never heard of this.
What was the
Funny.
one with Luigi and the? I can't remember what it was. What was the old one?
What, Luigi's Mansion?
Was it Dr. Mario? Wasn't?
Oh no,
No,
Dr.
I was
Mario was
thinking-
good.
what was
Dr.
it?
Mario was good. When I got tired
With
of
Luigi? Wasn't it just Luigi in it though?
what, Dr.
I
Mario?
mean, I just remember the theme song. It was talking about. I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the game.
Do the Mario.
It was an old one.
From side to side. Come on, it's time to go do the Mario.
No, it was.
I remember the Mario
I'll have to think of
TV
it.
show, the cartoon. It had
Yes.
Milli Vanilli on him. I remember that episode.
I remember the Q-Bird one.
It's on Netflix.
I love
It's on Netflix, and my daughter's like,
yeah.
let's watch Mario. I'm like, no.
That was Captain Lou
She wants to watch it every
Albano.
day. She loves it.
That was Captain Lou Albano. That was the wrestling manager, Captain Lou Albano. And there was an episode, if I remember, Roddy Piper was on with them. They had Roddy Piper.
There was a cartoon for probably all those early videos. I mean, even earlier ones like for 2600 game. Like they had Q-Bird, they had like Pole Position was like a cartoon.
Pac-Man.
In the 80s.
Pac-Man had a cartoon.
Pac-Man was a cartoon.
Yeah.
Pole
Zelda
Position was crazy because it was like almost like an action cartoon.
Zelda had a
It was like
cartoon.
a brother and a sister race team. It was weird.
Wait,
Zelda.
they should make a Zelda movie. They didn't make one yet, did they?
Oh, they're thinking about it.
You talking about that? Doing that?
I heard a rumor that since Marvel is going to be taking over the Star Wars comics, at the end of the year, Dark Horse may be bringing a Zelda comic out. I saw a rumor about that today, that they might be doing a Zelda comic.
I hope it's good.
That would be.
I'll buy it.
Now, where would that fall in the timeline? Because there's only one direct sequel to the first Zelda. Everything else is like a different timeline. It's weird. Oh, man. We turned into the game that knows everything about video games. How about that? Let's go to Final Fantasy. Let's talk Final Fantasy. We'll be here all night because I own them all.
Where's Al Keenan when we need him?
Yeah, where is All right. So, with that, we want to know, give us all your websites, Giulie, everything, every website you got. Tell us all where we can get Golden Age.
Okay, so the first website is our blog. That's where we post both the links for our other books like that are on Comixology, as well as our Big Cartel account that you could purchase a hard copy of Golden Age, and that's gingerrabbitstudio.com. And the other way you can find us is on Facebook, Ginger Rabbit Studio. Go ahead and like the page, and then we do update whenever we go to conventions. We say what table number we are at, and also you can find us on Twitter. I'm at Giulie Speziani, and Rob is Rob Harrington. You could just look him up that way. And you'll find us there. Cecilia, actually, she has a Facebook page as well, and I know she constantly is working on the Throwbent website for the Endling. That's the story that she's doing. So you can look her up on that as well.
We had, she answered those questions. Let me see if I can find them.
Okay. We can do that. I'm not going anywhere.
I also have the questions.
I have the answered questions here.
Do you want to read?
I don't think that I'll be any better at pronouncing.
She answered the fun questions too. I forgot. Sorry.
Yeah. Do you want me to read them? I'll read them.
Well, let's go ahead and read them.
I'll try my best.
I don't want to insult anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I might sound ridiculous reading it.
So the questions we first asked, we had two questions for her. The first is the actual comic book pages remind me a little of Bandette. Now, these came from Jules. What was your inspiration for the pages, for the comic book pages?
And Cecilia responds, I read the first issue of Bandette only after I finished with Golden Age a few months, so I can't truly include it in my references. The comic I had constantly open at my side while working on Golden Age was a French BD called La Vue de Corbeau, which I don't think it's translated into English, written and lavishly illustrated by Gibrat. France has a long tradition of comics colored with watercolors, so I naturally turned to them for inspiration. Another artist I checked was Belgian Philippe Delaby, whose work can be admired in Verena and Complainte de l'Inde-Perdue. But I'm surrounded by so many comics that influences get really mixed.
Fantastic. I would have done a really...
I had no idea France had a tradition of watercolor comics. I learned something from that.
Some
I learned
Twitter followers are going to say, you mispronounced that, but whatever.
Oh, that's fine. If I would have read it, I would have done it.
Let him come at me with it.
I would have read it in a bad Pepe Le Pew or Maurice Chevalier voice or something. I'm not ready. No,
As long as you're not doing Clouseau.
actually, I took French in high school. I did take French in high school. Funny story. Did you ever see the episode of Dexter's Laboratory where he tried to learn French and he put like the headset on at night that read the words to him so he could, as he slept, but it got stuck and all it would say was omelette du fromage. So the next day he couldn't talk and all he would say was omelette du fromage for everything. So that's all I did in French class. The teacher would be like, say, where is this? I'd be like, omelette du fromage. And you're like, no. Okay, I want you to say, where is the bathroom? Omelette du fromage? And that's all I would say during French class, and I passed. And I actually passed, and that's all I would say. So
They felt bad.
I told them.
Let's get this joker out of here.
I did
Just wasting everybody's time.
I did 1 year of Spanish. Look, I did 1 year of Spanish and 3 years of French. And I told them, look, all I need to know if I'm in some country, the only phrases I need to know is where is the bathroom and where is the American embassy. That's all I need to know if I'm in a foreign country. That's all I need to know. All right.
Mine would be bathroom and food.
Oh no, I'd be like
I need to
Toucan
know where the
Sam.
food is.
I'd be like Toucan Sam. I just follow my nose.
Well, I'll find food.
That's true
I'll
too.
find
You can do
food.
that.
All right. So if she could put two film franchises together, what did she say she would put together?
She said Harry Potter and Star Trek.
Ah, that was
Which could
good.
be done
That's good.
very cool.
Mr. Weasley.
But I have heard that there is some weird fan fiction out there about Harry Potter and Star Trek. Some of it gets pretty dirty.
I don't know any green ladies in Harry Potter for Kirk. What would she buy with her 3 cubics of money?
Giulia responds, a hexagonal half house, half castle property I once saw in England, though I think that would leave room for other purchases as well.
I have to agree.
That would be awesome.
That would
You
be
could build your treehouse right beside.
Can I
Yeah.
buy
There you go.
Buckingham
We'll be
Palace?
neighbors.
Can I buy Buckingham
A
Palace?
castle would be cool.
With the Queen?
Yeah, can I buy Buckingham? No,
I don't think so.
Well, if the Queen can live there, we'd be like neighbors. It'd be like I'd make Buckingham Palace a duplex. I would make
You
Buckingham
can
Palace
go
a
line
duplex.
dancing with her.
Yeah, the Queen can have like the East Wing. I'll have the West Wing. You know. And Mario Brothers or Zelda?
She would play Super Mario, since that's the only thing I guess she played.
I'm in the same boat because I'm not really a video gamer. I have an Xbox 360 and I buy certain games, like I just got Arkham Origins that I love, and that's still killing me. I'm not through yet, but I don't really game that much. So I was kind of up a tree there too with the Mario Zelda. Because like I said, I haven't played a Mario game since 64, and Zelda, man, I don't think I played anything past the first one on the old NES. I had to make a choice.
I try to make those questions as hard as possible. I'm just kidding.
That's hard for me. It was really hard.
I can't wait to see what the next episode's questions are going to be. That'll be fun. So with that, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for tonight. So, Julie, we want to thank you for... Hold on. Big loud noise. Loud noises. Oh. Julie, we want to thank you for coming on the show tonight. We want to thank you. We hope you had fun with us.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes.
We go this way, we go that way, but that's all it is. So, next...
We try to do it like this, and then we...
Whoa.
Make sure everybody stays tuned for next time. We are hoping to have clang clang. We are hoping to have Nathan Edmondson, the writer of Black Widow and the new really good, fantastic, awesome Punisher book. He'll be on with us. Punisher going to LA. So stay tuned for that. And please make sure to go check out our other episodes, such as the Cullen Bunn episode, Katie Cook episode. Definitely check out the Katie Cook episode, the writer for My Little Pony. So check out that. And always be on the lookout.
Is Cullen Bunn up now?
No, not yet. I'm working on it.
It's coming.
I'm working on it.
Sorry.
I'm
Didn't mean to interrupt.
I'm working on it.
Take it easy, man.
I still got this watch. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, good evening, and good night.